Welcome back. Now, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has a right to participate in his or her own government, in the government of his or her own country. Everyone. So, young, old, male, female, you have a right to participate in your government. Achieving the goal of equal participation of women in decision-making will provide a balance, and it will promote the proper functioning of democracy. That's what someone wrote here. But let's look at what's the role of women in nation building, in decision making. How is it that they almost always never seem to have enough opportunities as the men? Okay, I don't know. Why are you smiling?
Because I recall the first segment where they said out of 21, there are only 3 women.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is it.
In Nigeria, many will not give our government a pass mark, but really, how are we doing as far as women participation is concerned? Well, we have to speak to us, Onyeka Onwenu, Director General, National Center for Women Development. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
All right. Your center looks at women's issues and how to fix education among women, developing their skills, technological advancement for the girl child. But what would you say about women and their participation in government?
Nigeria is not doing so well. In fact, we're going backwards. In the last election, generally, the number of women in the Senate and in the Federal House were reduced. We still have not elected a woman as governor of any of the states. Some states are doing very well, having the woman as the deputy governor. And when will Nigeria have a woman as president? Why does it sound so far-fetched? Whereas in some other African countries, it has happened. And it is a bit more plausible and probable than Nigeria. You mentioned woman as president, Nigerian men go, you know, they roll their eyes as if it would never be possible. But we need to make it possible for every human being to aspire to political office, aspire to serve, aspire to do something for your nation. And the women need to be helped and brought in because the system is skewed against us, as it were.
Onyeka, is it not a cultural thing? You talk about women, and some men in this 21st century will still roll their eyes and say, she's supposed to be in the kitchen.
I think the men are scared. They know that we are quite capable and able. A woman that runs the home is multitasking.
Yeah.
A woman is committed. A woman wants to make changes because she cares for not just her family, but the community and the nation. And women have proved themselves in this country. So it's not, in the last dispensation, we had so many women as ministers. We had them participating in every area. And we are hoping that this current dispensation will equally give women a greater opportunity to serve. Okay, the ministerial list is out, we didn't do so well, but there's so many other areas that I think that the president can do a lot better than what has happened in the past. We want to encourage him. We want to remind him that women voted for him. We want to remind him that we make up more than 50% of the population of Nigeria. You do not go to war with one hand tied behind the back. You use everything that you got in terms of human resources to develop the nation. And that's what we're urging and encouraging, not just the federal government, but the state governors as well to do.
Now, if it looks as if, because of cultural bias, that the women are being, for lack of a better word or phrase, they are being put down, do you think a restructuring of laws and all of that would help to enhance the role of the women?
Absolutely. And the reason we're so far behind is that when you look at the Senate and you look at the House, how many women do you have? What is the impact? They're trying, they're working very, very hard. But they're so outnumbered that the men don't feel that the issues of the girl child, for example, by the way, tomorrow is the International Day of the Girl Child. And I want to talk about that a little bit because that's where it starts. Mm-hmm. If these women are outnumbered, they don't really have a powerful voice to raise bills, to see that they are passed, and to see that the laws are actually executed. And what I'm talking about is that Nigeria is a country that is so wonderfully blessed. Nigerian people are strong focused and forward-looking people. Why is it that when it gets to the issue of women, we just seem to lag behind? Take Rwanda, for example. 68% of the positions there are held by women. Take Kenya. There is a constitution, the part of the constitution that says you have to reserve 35% of elective positions for women. So many African countries are doing better than we are. Take the plight of the girl child. Rape, the incidence of rape, read your papers. Even
Increasing.
a week-old baby is at risk in this country. Nigeria, what is going on? Education of the girl child. Do we actually have an articulated and strong policy for the education of the girl child? The IDPs, right now, it's mostly women and girls. Women who've lost their husbands, lost their children, they are displaced. What is the policy that we have to ensure that we help them while they're there, as well as plan for their ultimate return to their homes? These are issues that this country should deal with right now, not in the future, right now.
Let's talk about you mentioned it, the International Day of the Girl Child.
Yes.
And your center, what's your plan for the girl child? Because we've been talking about the girl child, education for the girl child, a better life for the girl child. What's the plan? What's the way?
My agency has the responsibility for advocacy, training and empowerment. And this covers the girl child as well. Last year we started something that really blew our minds. We had a summit on the girl child, and it centered on education. Nigerian women responded in a way that really took us all by surprise. The response was wonderful. And a lot of things came out of that meeting, and they insisted that this ought to be a yearly event. We carried it out last year, we're doing it again this year on Thursday, which is October 15. But we're starting with a pre-summit summit on the 12th, on Tuesday, where we bring in the girls from the secondary schools. This year also the boys, because we don't want to be just talking to ourselves. We are carrying the men along. The psychic, the mind has to change from that age, that it is not okay to rape. It is not okay to carry out acts of violence. It is not okay for a girl child to be trafficked. It is not okay for her not to be educated. So we're starting with this, and they will give us their agenda. It's not a bunch of grown-ups sitting down someplace and telling the girl child. They will tell us they are participating fully. On Thursday now, women from all sectors of the society are coming together. And it's not just going to be a talk shop, but certainly we are going to come out with a communique that will be presented to government. This is how your women, Nigeria, this is how your women feel. This is what they want. These are their suggestions as to how we can deal with the issues regarding women and girl child in this country. Can we work together?
And there's no way that government can afford to ignore the women.
Mbano.